There's, something for everyone here. If anyone's ever been to Atlanta and been to the Dragon Con show, it has a big feel like that, just like on a smaller scale, but it's really cool. I enjoy it a lot. Like I said, I've been to some bad conventions, and this is up there. It's a really good one.
Especially to me, this con, with the exception of Dragon Con, for the South, this con has one of the best costume shows too.
Yes.
The costumes walk at this show. And the people put a lot of hard work into it, and they give them a lot of really cool prizes for it. And actually, you all were judges last time. So what did you think on the costume contest? The costume contest, like their costumes and the judging stuff, what did you think on that?
It was impressive, of course.
My favorite people won. I was excited. The ones
She
that
stuffed the ballots.
Yeah, the ones that I was like floored, because on your scorecard you could have like, I can't remember what they said it was, but the 3, personal bias, yeah, and there were like 5 that I thought were just stupendously amazing and were so brilliantly crafted, and I was really impressed. It was really fun. Yeah.
Having worn so many costumes in my life, I'm still amazed at the creativity that the fans come up with on these costume contests. And not just on this stage, but all weekend long. It's just been amazing the way they've crossed over. The one Trek punker that was here and all dressed up was really, really fun to look at. And let's face it, on stage, a TARDIS ballerina, I never would have thought of that. That was great, and so there's so much thrill in seeing the creativity, and it's a fun thing to be here for that. I'm glad I don't miss it.
Between working on makeup and somebody who works all the time, do y'all look at it maybe a little bit different? Like, man, I know what all went into that as far as the time and just to be dressed.
Yeah, I think that's why I had such an appreciation for the people that sewed all their stuff, because I'm terrible at sewing. So to me, that's more impressive.
So if you need stitches for your special makeup, you're out a lot.
It's the detail of any individual costume that when I see it up here. It's like with the championship costume the other night, the detail that went into some of their thoughts and what they were putting together, the research they did is on the level of Hollywood. And as judges, we were talking about a little bit too, that the amount of time that the fans have and their spare time to put into some of these costumes is just fantastic to me. That shows the dedication, the love for what they do. Where on the other hand, and in the industry, people, the costume designers and the whole wardrobe department will take 6 months full time, 8 hours a day or more, prepping a show to get it ready to go on camera. Okay, and that's a full-time job. And some of these people come up with some pretty darn good stuff in just a couple of months. And that's what really impresses me.
You dressed about it last night too, right?
Yeah, and I thought all of them were great. The little girl with the TARDIS stuff, yeah, she stole my heart. I just wanted to hand her a trophy and every bit of money out of my pocket.
And she was so cute for it. She was so thank you.
Yeah, she was awesome.
The little robot, because I was like crying.
Oh yeah, her brother, he was so cute too.
In the future, y'all, you're going to see the zombies later on. Now, some of y'all, Bill, you were here, what, the second year? Or third year?
2006.
So,
I remember.
How have you seen, what do you think as far as progression? Not that year, there's probably only maybe a quarter to a third of the number of people and the activities we were doing back then.
Oh, it's been absolutely amazing to come back and see the progress of this convention. Everybody on the staff, from the full-time staff with Todd and all the volunteers that come in and put in their time to help out, it has shown. And to come back, now 6-7 years later at least, and this was still at Sterling in that year. And I don't think the attendance was a tenth of what it is right now, and that's just in itself a tribute and an award of its own to the organizers and bringing the audience in for us to be here to come see you. And believe me, I've done some first year and second year events, and they haven't had more than 60 people show up. It was a year ago or so I did a first year event in Woodland Hills, Calabasas, outside Los Angeles. Only 2 paid people came in. Everybody else there were volunteers or convention staff. And they thought they were going to do another one this year. Nothing. I did another one in Kansas City last year. Well, then 2 years ago now almost. And they blew it the first year. Literally just blew it. And they couldn't have a second year. So the fact when a convention survives, it's a real accomplishment, and everybody should be proud, because it takes every fan here that's been coming in this weekend supporting something like this so everybody can enjoy it. And I thank you, because it allows us to come and enjoy your company as well.
Last year was your first year too, correct?
Yes. Yeah, last year was my first fall con. However, I've been to other conventions before as well, particularly MarCon, which is in the Midwest. Well, it's the largest one in the Midwest. So it was interesting to see how this one has gotten bigger since last year. And from what I'm hearing, it's steadily getting bigger, and that's very encouraging.
It obviously was impressed you last year that you came back and they invited you.
Yeah, well, I mean, Todd invited me, it was on Saturday night. He saw me and said, "Did you like it?" You go, "Yeah." You had a good time? I said, "Yeah, it was really cool." I said, "You want to come back next year?" I said, "Sure." So, yeah. So I think that I appeal to a certain segment of the convention goers that want to hear some things that sound like sci-fi, but they're coming real. They're coming true. It's part of fun of sci-fi is having a fantasy and then thinking what if you could really do this? I think a lot of people do that in any way. That's kind of part of fun. Dating back to Jules Verne and beyond, So I bring some of that here, because what people were very pleased with this year is that I wasn't saying the same thing as I said last year. I had made significant progress, and there's new information, all that. So
I have to say, that's one of the things, whenever I have to do, especially on a 4-day event, and I'm having to do multiple interviews with all y'all, it's like, okay, do we have new audience members, so I'm not having, or do I have to repeat all the same questions? And it actually wears on me a little bit too. Like, I don't want to bore you, because I've done enough interviews, and I know a lot of times you get a lot of the same questions. But I mean, overall, we did have new crowds almost every time that y'all were. Well, I got to interview you once this year, but everyone else was got 2 or 3 times. Was that 4 with you? Wow. So his first year, he gets the most.
You left us on our own. We were self-moderated at the last.
No, I wasn't asked to do that. I was asked to do this one just for full bar.
It was just like, they're like, well, where is he?
Sometimes they gotta see the children have grown up and can handle it. Without your agents, without your managers, without your bad publicists. Bill is searching for a new publicist. Okay, but it kind of makes sense. Bill is one of those kind of interviews that, not the rest of y'all, but Bill's one of those kind of interviews that you really love when you're doing it from this side, because I've done plenty of interviews where you go and ask somebody maybe really hard at the moment, and I go, yeah, no, that's just what we do. Right. And, it's like pulling teeth from an earthworm to get an answer. Bill, you ask a question, you sit back to him, and you good. and you kind of say, well, sure, you're listening. No, it's really good for me, and so I enjoy that. But everyone gave good answers. Did anyone get to sit in on some interviews this weekend?
I was too busy.
This is true. Did any of y'all see the free comic book that was going around? This is a man who's trying to tell the teacher. But he was so busy that all he got to do was ink one of them, so his art's not even in it.
I didn't do it. They didn't do a button for me. Are you kidding?
So, do y'all have any questions for any of the guests? You two get to ask the first one because you're new here.
All right. Don't have a clue what to ask.
You guys gonna come back?
What?
You guys gonna come back?
I get invited, sure.
I was curious, so I looked you up on the Google you, and you're really big into the whole STEM, the science, technology, engineering, mathematics. I thought that's really cool, because and especially in Texas, so much money is poured into football,
Right.
Not just Texas, trust me.
Yeah, and Arkansas.
Well, I'm from Ohio, of course, it's that way too on the college level.
And I think, man, if they put like the stadium they built here in Texas, it's like high school, $60 million. And I think I don't think they would put a tenth of that into like
STEM.
Or even the arts, music and arts, they don't do it.
Exactly. Or
That, they call that now STEAM. You put the arts in, it's called STEAM.
Yeah.
Right.
And a tenth of $60 million would do so much for like a lab or like, getting them like the 3D printers so they can try to invent things that the people don't want that, the voters don't want that. They want
The main problem is it's not even the money, it's just that people are running the different programs and they know what they're doing. If next time I hear a math teacher say, well, I don't know how to make math more interesting, I'm probably going to scream because it's not that difficult, It's the problem is education has gotten to the point where they don't know how, it's difficult for them to make it interesting. So I think that's more of it.
Because
It's
the
not a
sports
funny
book is
problem.
visual. The public can relate to the sports book because it's something they can actually grasp onto and see, and they can't come into the classroom and see the results.
Well, they could. See, the thing is, if you have a science class that says, okay, we're going to build a rocket or we're going to do this or whatever, and if they did it and then they demonstrated it, then people would see it. But the people that are running education these days, I'm sorry to say, in many cases are dumber than a box of rocks. And I know because I've dealt with them, and I remember what it was when I was
I was
growing
a
up.
teacher, I know.
Yeah, so I mean, that's what that's the problem, and so, it's basically it. But it's not really a money issue, it's a vision thing. That's what the problem is.
I think that's what's good about those robotic programs they do.
I'm an 8th grade science teacher.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not dumber than a box of rocks.
I didn't say all of them were dumber than a box of rocks. However, I will say this. Just, for example, I was a member of National Lab Day when it still existed, and I'm currently a member of 1,000 Scientists for 1,000 Days program for Scientific American. And I've seen before, and I've tried to help them out, I've seen teachers submit to us scientists things that are like, could you come to our class and tell us about how to create a magnetic field? And I'm like, what the heck, lady? It's right in your textbook. You don't need to, that's not what we're supposed to be doing. You get us in there to talk about things that she can't deal with. But unfortunately, and it's not only the teacher's fault because there a lot of times there's not enough explanation into what they're supposed to be using us for. But, they shouldn't use us to teach what's in the textbook. They should come to us professionals for things that are like, for example, if you bring a NASA astronaut in to talk about what's going to be in space and what they're doing in the space program, that kind of thing, something that he does. So it runs across the board. I'm not saying all teachers are stupid or anything like that, but I'm just saying I see a lot of things I'm going like, and you've got a degree because of how? Because I deal with it on a national level. So, but there's a lot of great teachers out there. But there are problems with issues, and that's what we see reflecting in,
My remark was based more on not the teachers, but more like the educational board of directors and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's everybody. And a big thing is, it's the parents. The first problem is the parents. But we were talking about certain other aspects of that.
We do have STEAM and MERD at our school. I think they're awesome programs. I know from our department at our school, when we call an expert, a lot of times it's not a subject that we don't know. We try and bring outside people in so that our students see that and know, well, I don't have to just be a teacher to do this in science. I can go be a scientist, and they know this and do that, because that is where probably the biggest thing with them is the real world application.
That's why I started my program in 2005. And that's what National Lab Day and the Scientific American program, that's what they want. That's what they're pushing. Unfortunately, so you obviously get it, there are teachers that don't get that and they're doing the other thing, and that's unfortunate.
And then we have people who do makeup now that used to be marine biologists.
Really? Yes.
Yeah, so I
Cool.
marine biology, but actually I guess I got to go to a really great school. It was a public school too. I moved around all the time. We moved like probably once a year, but my senior year was at Churchill High School in San Antonio, and I got to take biotechnology, and we separated DNA and used electrophoresis and the whole bit in high school. So I guess I was just really lucky.
But Zombie Dolphins just wasn't in the game.
Well, I did have one.
I have a totally different question. What has been your favorite part about the convention?
Costumes. I like the people watching. Looking at all the cool costumes.
The fans always are fabulous. You love that part, but I got to go to a Star Wars wedding, and I feel like this should be a wedding destination because that was like so cool. I'm so glad I woke up in time and didn't miss it. 'Cause
I think we had one year here, didn't we?
Well, we have one
I
this
thought
year.
this one was.
Did we have one this year?
I think
Yeah, we had a huge one
I'm
this
sorry,
year.
I've been busy. I haven't kept up with
Yesterday
what's going on
morning
yesterday
they
morning.
had
10
one.
o'clock right here on
it
the
was
stage.
incredible.
I actually was like yesterday morning at 10 o'clock. I was jumping in the shower quickly to get down to my team.
Yeah, they had a wedding in here yesterday.
Yeah, and it was beautiful. It was just beautifully done. I couldn't believe that I got to be a part of it and see it. And it was like a genuine wedding, and yet it had all this Star Wars.
It wasn't Darth Vader and Princess Amidala, was it?
It was what?
It wasn't Darth Vader and Princess Amidala.
No, but Darth Vader was there, and so were the stormtroopers, and everybody. It was just awesome. So I'm so glad I
The
didn't miss
giant
that.
Wookiee would have been a great ring boy.
What?
The giant Wookiee would have been a great ring bearer.
Oh yeah, well the Wookiees were there, and I got my picture between two of them, so I can't wait to post that on Facebook. 'Cause they were like 9 feet tall. It was that was a highlight.
She was funny cards. She had Wookiees.
I'm going to go clear back and finish answering where we were asked if we would come back. Does it start yesterday? Yeah, like I was telling you in the last panel, this is only Thursday. We're starting all over again, everybody. We're not going home. I'm going to stay. Anybody wants to stay with them? I love conventions. I love the anticipation of coming and all the new people I'm going to get to meet and new fans I get to greet or to watch. Like I said, and my opportunity, I was talking about in the last panel that on theater, we get a chance to speak to the audience afterwards. And we get to talk about what we did and what they tell us what they like and everything. In TV and film, the only chance I get to come out and say thank you and talk to you about what we do is if I come to these conventions. And that's the biggest part to me, short of getting to drink my bloody ass drunk on Saturday nights. Thank you very much.
Tristan.
I've enjoyed meeting everyone, and I've also really enjoyed seeing the families here, like the parents bringing their kids. I enjoy seeing the little kids dress up because, I mean, what could be more fun for a kid than to have Halloween in March? You know what I mean? And it's great, and I love it. I love seeing the faces on the little kids when they're like, I got to see Chewbacca, and things like that. It's pretty nice.
I think there will be a few that dress as leprechauns since it's always around St. Patrick's Day night.
One more question for me. So what's the next big, for all of you, what's your next big thing career-wise? What are you going to be doing next? Do you have any idea? Are you just kind of going along? Anything coming up at school?
I have something, but I'm contracted to know that.
Oh, man.
This is beyond the second.
I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to
For
happen.
those of y'all who weren't in the panels, he is going to be going in Chicago soon to try our second city and hopefully set it on.
Yes.
Yay!
Comment something.
Oh, I never heard.
I don't know where to start. I have every day booked for indefinitely.
Well, that's all. I got a big enough mouth, let's face it.
Right, while I'm working on this, I'm working on the TV show they're filming here called Salvation, the pilot.
Really?
So I'm working that Monday, Tuesday. I go to a convention Wednesday through Sunday. Come back to do Salvation Monday through Thursday. I go to LA for Monsterpalooza, and then I start a TV show called the Astronauts Wives Club in Houston for the next 6 months. And then I go to Germany. So I feel like I have
You are showing Salvation. What
I
channel is
am.
that?
Everything's
Salvation
been really coming together. It's actually kind of overwhelming.
Is the pilot, is it already going to be airing, or are you already starting to pilot see the cells?
Is it on CBS or
It's NBC. They ordered a lot of TV pilots, so I have no idea if it's gonna. It has Ashley Judd in it, but it's not. I'll be honest, it's not a subject matter that I'm particularly interested in, but it's a good job.
Yeah, pays the bills.
It's about a Texas mega church
Mega church.
and the drama that ensues.
How about the rainbow conference?
I've conventions all throughout the year. I get to actually go to Toronto in September for Gen Con, which is a convention entirely dedicated to Gen holograms. Yeah, so that's going to be cool because I haven't been to Toronto. And looking forward to that. And I sing with the longest running Pink Floyd tribute band in the U.S. And we do a lot of House of Blues shows. And so we're playing Dallas House of Blues on March 29th, and we're playing in New Orleans, and we're all over the place. And I'm actually coming to LA for BotCon. Yeah, it's the 30th anniversary of the Transformers brand. And I was on Transformers as well, the original Generation 1, so I get to be a part of that, and I'm very excited because all my family lives there, so I'm going to do that. I'm making a music video because I'm working with my producer and we're recording new music and doing a music video for my new album, and yeah, it's going to be a busy year, so I'm excited.
Well, aren't you also, like, June or July, going back to work some more on the album?
Yeah, we've got a bunch of new material, and we're going to do probably 3 or 4 more songs and shoot a video, so I'm excited. And I had such a great time at AllCon. They're amazing. The staff and the volunteers don't miss a beat. Everybody's taking such good care of not only myself, but my mom, who loves to come with me if it's in Texas. Yay! So I just wanted to express a huge gratitude to the wonderful people in Todd that have taken such good care of us. I always feel so handled with love and care and appreciation, so thank you so much.
She comes in handy too whenever we're doing the interviews, and sometimes she's like, I don't remember how exactly this happened when she was a little kid, so Mom comes to the rescue and fills in the blanks.
Yes, and you, Ethan, too. You've been wonderful. And
I'm just a big blank.
You're such a pro. You're really great with the interviews. And
Well, thank you.
total pro.
I try. Hopefully I don't bore y'all sometimes.
No, you're great.
I go back to LA, and I got a little bit of time there before I take off to Germany for a convention the 1st of next month. And then later this week, coming up, I'm working on what is an untitled Warren Beatty project. And like a lot of things anymore, everybody because of the internet and wireless networks and everything nowadays, we are not allowed to talk about anything we're currently working on. It's not allowed to be out there. But there are a couple movies I did last year that are going to be released this year. One called Wish I Was Here, which I will be another costume special effect character of my own design. And then one that you can actually see the real me in, called Nightcrawler. Those are both supposed to be out this year. It is not a science fiction Nightcrawler. I mean, the movie name Nightcrawler has been used over and over and over again. This movie is actually based on a news reporter, Stringer, who sells his things to the local news stations and stuff. And that's where this all comes in with murder and, suspense. Actually, I'm going to Germany 3 times this year for conventions, which is going to be really fun. And like I said, with the fans, it's just so wonderful to be invited and recognized. And it's like being invited into the home of everybody here. It's so much fun. The one in Germany actually is going to be in December. I'm not looking forward to the weather, but this is a multiple number of Star Trek fan clubs that get together that actually have their Christmas dinner that we're just being invited to for that weekend, just for the dinner. They're going to have just a little mini convention for me to be there with them as their special guest, and it's just like, wow, thank you, because you guys are all really great fans, and I love each and every one of you, and even those that didn't come in here now to say goodbye to us. I still love them. But I got to tell you too, Germany has the biggest science fiction Star Trek fan base that I could ever imagine. I've been going over there on and off for the last 10 years or so. Everybody's so respectful of me personally, I'm sure with everybody else here too, but just from my own standpoint, I walk in a door, everybody's respectful. Yeah, you come up, can we take a picture with you? And everything's great. I go into an event in Germany, and right from the get-go, I sometimes don't even have a chance to breathe. Everybody just wants to talk to you. Everybody wants to hear all the stories all the time, whether you're on a panel or not. I finish on stage, and it's like a rock concert. They're all coming down to the front of the stage wanting to shake hands, get autographs right then and there. And some of that can be really great. I mean, I'm the type, I'm fortunate for 15 years of not having, my face in public eye behind all this stuff. I can walk down the street, but there are times, I'm not sure I want, I love the attention, but it's nice to have that private time too. And you folks have been so kind and respectful to us. And again, I look forward. You want me back here next year? Yeah, I'll be here for you.
One-handed clap.
Yeah, fun. I enjoy it.
And you can all come back too. I want you back here too. Hey, any more questions?
Forgive me, I have not been able to attend your panels. That I've been running around taking pictures and counting people. But I'm sure, I know you, I've seen you in Star Trek, but I don't know the characters you played. Would you mind identifying them?
Right?
Yeah, just a few.
Okay, first, one of the things, you've never seen my name in the screen credits, so you wouldn't know what the characters are from that standpoint. The world record that I hold right now is for 202 different special effect makeup characters in my career so far. That's the official number. Unofficially, it's about 207, 208 right now. My character names are things like Guard, Jemadar Soldier #1. You know, how I'm designated when I'm on set. When I was doing the Borg Invasion 4D, my character was 6 of 9. Okay, so they're really the generic things. As people get to know me, they recognize the eyes, and they'll know which one in the scene I am. We play a game called Bill Spotting every once in a while. It's a lot of fun. We did actually a little bit at the panel yesterday. We put a DVD on a slideshow, and it's like, okay, which one am I in the scene?
And sometimes it's just the back of the head.
Well, so this means that you are the visual aspect of what Miss Samantha is vocally.
Yeah, she plays my voice.
There you go.
Here, speak some Klingon for us. Whiskey,
lady down front.
I don't think, maybe I can, I'll go check.
Hope that answered your question.
To the panel that does primarily voice work, are you more union or non-union? Do you go to the gamers or the developers yourself, or does your agent do it for you? Some of these questions I have.
Yeah, I have an agent, a voiceover agent, and I was Screen Actors Guild for many, many years, actually since I was like 9. And then, you know, the business has changed hugely over the years, and there's a lot of non-union work, so I am financial core now, which means I can do both. And it's kind of an interesting thing to say out loud. But you know, as a voiceover actor, you just want to work, you just want to do great projects, and so
again, when you're trying to get your projects going, besides your agent coming to you saying, I think it'd be great for this, go ahead and audition for it.
Right.
Are you doing anything on your own to hustle to get your own?
Well, I get approached a lot by people that know me from Jam. So I did a project in Nashville. It was a short animation film called Pound Dogs, and it went to all the film festivals, and it was like black comedy. It was funny, but really like a mini short. It was winning all these festival awards and stuff. So it's lovely to be invited because I'm Gem, you know, by people that are fans of my work in the cartoon. But mostly it's through agents. That type of thing.
So do you have more than one agent?
No, I just have an agent in Dallas now. I had representation in California, but now I'm based in Texas. I'm a Texan.
Who's your local agent?
My local agent is I'm playing on the spot right now. That's so funny. It's the Horn Agency in Dallas. Yeah. I don't know why I blanked out for a second. That was really determined.
Because it's already still on Sunday.
I know, right? I like feel like I've been really braced. I just did that.
I've been doing that all day myself. Oh my God.
My mom and I have been doing the same thing. We're like, I've been late to things, and I so not liking it. I'm like, what is wrong with me this week? And I'm just not in my body. Yeah, it's sensory overload. There's so much to see every time. I kept stepping in photo ops. I mean, these fabulous, you know, poses with these incredible costumes. And I'm just walking around, like walking through, seeing things, and like destroying pictures.
The accidental photobomb?
Photobomb.
Yeah, I've been photobombing people all weekend, so I have to say I'm really sorry.
Oh, that's Kim. They got photobomb by Kim. They go, yes.
I need to do a bit strips cartoon,
You should
like
come
Jen
over.
photobombed everybody at all this week.
You should come over together and have her make jumpers and everything.
I know, that would be great.
Go running around, and that got posted on Facebook and everything, I just really got everybody going.
And totally. So thank you for your question.
Hey, anyone else before we let them go? How many of y'all are getting ready to leave now, or you're going to be back, versus being back at your table for a while? You getting ready to leave? Or wait till 4?
I got about another hour or so. I'll be out there around 4:30 or so.
I got a little time.
Can you guys quickly go down the line and tell us what your next projects are? What your
They did that.
Oh, she's stepping in a little late there.
I'm sorry. No,
That's okay, we can do it again. That's all right. We do it, you know. We'll go right down the line.
We'll start with the guy who can't tell us what he's doing.
Stay tuned.
But you can mention the Second City.
Yeah.
What,
I'm gonna go try out Second City.
Dumb and Dumber 2 is about to come out. You're in that, right?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Now, I've got a couple of movies in theaters later this year. I Wish I Was Here and Nightcrawler. Something else I'll add that I didn't mention before. I started a production company just a little less than 2 years ago, and I'm working on a film right now called Ghost Rig. We're actually probably going to shoot here in Oklahoma within the next year. And it's all about the oil rigs and a monster and a family and suspense and drama and lots of comedy too.
I'm going to be doing lots of convention appearances throughout this year, and I was telling them that I get to go to Toronto for Gen Con, which is an entire convention dedicated to Gen holograms. It is so awesome. It's like the die-hard doll fans and the animation fans, and it's a party, really fun. I sing with a Pink Floyd tribute band, and it's the full-on laser light show Pink Floyd sight and sound experience. And we play the House of Blues. We're playing the House of Blues March 29th in Dallas. Wow. And then we're playing like San Antonio House of Blues, and we're all over the place. We're called Bricks in the Wall, and it's awesome. I love Pink Floyd's music. And gosh, and I also am a singer-songwriter myself, and pitch my stuff for film and TV. I've got a lot of songs on film and TV, and I'm writing more stuff with my writing partner and my producer, and shooting a music video in June, and life is good. I'm having a great time. So.
And then I'm just going to keep going to more conventions. I have a company and I make like masks and fake body parts and costume films and television and haunts. And so sell those and go to more conventions, and I'm working on the TV show Salvation on and off right now, and then I started another TV show in Houston in April. So yeah, pretty busy.
All right, well, we're pretty, we've got a couple more minutes, but we'll give them time to get back to their tables and booths to do stuff, and if y'all want to go over and get stuff signed and say one last goodbye to them in person. But I'd like everybody to thank them for coming to AllCon 2014.
Could we get a group photo op real quick together with everybody?
You want to do a group photo
just-
of all of you?
Yeah. Everyone stand up. I've got my hand.